Hello, my friends. I'm Ventox, your resident Fate Phantom fanatic, and tonight we are jumping back into Lostbelt 7. Last night was a bit of a slaughter, to be honest. Last night was a little rough, but we got what we were after, and then some. And we are ready to face down the rest of this Lostbelt with Kukulkan and Tlaloc in hand. And I've been doing some strengthening quests over the last, 24 hours or so, breaking in the new servants, testing them out, and like, Kukulkan is kind of cracked. I mean, Kukulkan is really, really strong. Like, I haven't even given her the gold foes yet. She's level 100, and like, man, these buster cards hit like a truck. Kukulkan is strong, dude. I'm thinking I probably will end up giving her the gold foes, but even without them, she is steamrolling through these strengthening quests. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her put to the test on some more challenging stuff, Lostbelt level of difficulty. We'll see. Well, technically, if K&C didn't go to you, you'd still have like 150 sync quartz left. I mean, that's true, but like, even so. I will say, that did get me enough Tlalocs to just get both of her first two append skills done, so I'm very grateful for that, because it's nice just not having to worry about those coins. Servant coins are awful. I wonder where I'm at on servant coins now that I think about it, because I was close to running out at the beginning of this month, so I guess I'll find out in about a week if I've gotten enough coins. I've burned like maybe 3.5 to 4 million friend points in the last month, so I've got to have built up at least some. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump in with our daily friend point summon, and then we're just going to go ahead and dive right into the Lostbelt. We don't really have a whole lot else to do. I was talking about maybe doing some hosting roles, but there just wasn't enough time for me to coordinate that, and I only had one person who was ready and able to do it, so I decided, hey, I'll put that on hold for right now. If I can arrange something else, then cool, and if not, so be it. I'm at 15 million friend points saved up, just waiting for JP's 100 pull to come to NA. See, if they're gonna give us 100 pull on friend point gacha, I so desperately wish they would give us 100, CE leveling slots, because it takes some serious time when you have 800 CEs to do this. What would that be? 800 divided by 20 would be 80 divided by 2, so 40. Yeah, you have to do that 40 times, and that takes some serious time. So if they're gonna give us 100 pulls, I really wish they would just let us level the CEs a little more efficiently. Alrighty, so what has happened? Ben's finally leveling and using Under the Sun after years of me telling him it's better than Volumen. Yes, I have finally acquiesced. I want to make Karm proud of me, okay? I build CE bombs to save up on QP, but damn, it's still a lot. I just gave up on building CE bombs. It takes so much more time and so much mental energy. Yes, it saves QP. Yes, it is marginally more efficient. No, I do not want to devote the time to doing that anymore. With the millions of friend points that I have rolled, with how many CE bombs I have built, I'm good. I'm good. So, what has happened in Lostbelt 7? Part 2 starts off a bit slow. We basically just worked on repairing the storm border and telling stories of proper human history and the Lostbelts to the dinos. We have had a bit of a odd encounter with Olga Marie, who clearly has some indication of who she is truly and is facing an identity crisis. She's kind of facing it head on right now. So we're gonna see where that leads. Now, that first chapter of 7.2 seemed pretty easygoing, low stakes. I note that section 12 is entitled Kingdom of Corpses. So something tells me we're probably not going to be seeing that piece last for very much longer. So that basically just brings us up to speed. We're gonna go ahead and jump in. And of course, I have to reset because Lostbelt 7 breaks capture cards. Also, for anybody who has not been keeping up with the bingo sheet, this is where we're at right now. There's still a couple on here that I'm not super confident on. There's a few that I think could happen. We'll see. Good morning! Best boy Tapu.
Good morning. You're the first one up today. Nice to see you seem to have gotten a good night's rest.
Yeah, you Olga Marie told me to go to bed.
You know, Ventox, Father Kotomine actually left me a message to give you. It's about her. Not so long ago, I'm sure I would have only told you the message's contents and would not have been able to imagine how you might feel about them, but... Never mind that. Let me just give you the message. Chaldeans, I know this is short notice, but the young miss and I have decided to part ways with you. Though she has yet to regain her memories and she is not yet sure who she really is, she has said, and I quote, I am sick and tired of dumb dinos, weak-ass earthlings, and stupid, sweltering Mictlan. We will therefore be leaving this Lostbelt tonight. I am sorry I can't be present for your confrontation with David, but as the young Mrs. Butler, I am obliged to obey her. I wish you luck in future endeavors. Shepherd of Lost Sheep, Father Kotomine. The end.
I don't buy that. I mean, like, maybe that is the decision that they have reached. I don't buy that that's just a permanent farewell for the rest of this Lostbelt. That would be incredibly abrupt.
Yes. Oh, and one more thing. Father Kotomine asked me to give you this as well. Are the carvings on this bark what you call English? Anyway, he said you Olga Marie made this for you.
I cannot help you save the Earth. I'm sorry. Aw. What kind of president, honestly? And to think I was gonna vote for her. I see. So you Olga Marie and Rasputin are gone. I actually saw that you Olga Marie, the foreign god's signal, had disappeared from our instruments. I was only able to follow it partway, but it looks like she was headed toward the surface. Well, the first stratum.
Well, she didn't attack us, so that suggests she still hasn't regained her memories. She may not have liked me much, but it felt more like she saw me as a rival than an actual enemy. If anything, it seemed like she was fond of us, especially Ventox and Mash. But she still left without saying goodbye. That must mean... Was she offended by how wishy-washy we were about including her? I know what that's like. Hell, I don't know what it's like to not feel that way. Every time I joined a club in university, I always felt like I was the only one who didn't belong. It's hard, it feels like lying on a bed of nails, and above all else, my fierce pride simply couldn't take it.
Okay, the auto is getting a little too fast for me.
I bet it was Rasputin's idea. I mean, I know I told him they should leave. But seeing Ventox and Mash's responses is making me wonder if I went wrong. No. Deep down, I think I was secretly hoping you Olga Marie, the spitting image of Olga Marie, would officially join Chaldea in the end.
I'm going to miss her too. Yes, she was the foreign god, but she was hilarious to watch, and had gaps in her knowledge and defense so big you could drive a bus through them. If I'd managed to take advantage of one of those openings and analyze her, that would have made it really easy to find out what exactly the foreign god is. Why she looks like Chaldea's former director, and how she incarnated into a beast spirit origin. Alright everyone, chin up. No harm has been done, so there is no cause to be depressed. We may have lost our chance to verify it, but the fact that she is still suffering from memory loss is good news. This gives us an opportunity to complete one of our original objectives, stop the foreign god from fusing with Ort. I agree. Heartless as it sounds, there's no sense discussing this further. You Olga Marie is no longer helping us. She is our enemy once more, and that's how I'm going to think of her. Got that, Mash and Ventox? But maybe she hasn't left for good. There's still a chance she could decide to come back. I have taken away the Ort counter for now, since it seems like the shtick with that has kind of passed. Yes, that's definitely possible. So if you do run into her again, make sure you're prepared to defend yourselves. That said, if she comes to us asking to talk instead of attacking, I won't force you to strike first. If that time comes, I'll leave the decision up to you. Got it? Go on, repeat back what I said. No, I refuse. That's not what I said. Also, why are you thanking me? Because when all's said and done, you still believe in her. Yeah, maybe you're right. That Marine didn't have any unique skills separate from the rest of the series, but he was a much better judge of character than I've ever been. It's kind of a weird transition. Alright, it took us a lot longer than I expected, but it's finally time to start our staff briefing. First, I want to reconfirm our main objectives. The primary one, as we just mentioned, was to neutralize the foreign god and stop her from fusing with Ort. Our secondary objective was to excise the South American Lostbelt and capture the last cryptor, David. Obviously, things have changed since then. There's been no shortage of surprises in this Lostbelt, and now we need to rethink how we handle those two objectives. For one, now that the foreign god is suffering from memory loss, she is not even thinking about fusing with Ort. Meanwhile, David the Cryptor and his servant, Tezcatlipoca, are now trying to use Ort for their own ends. If what you saw in Mexico City was in fact a vision of the near future, then we must begin by considering how we can prevent it from coming to pass.
Right you are. Unfortunately, the Ortonax contained no video footage of the collapse of Mictlan and Earth that Ventox reported. Not because it didn't record for that span of time, you see, but because that footage, and only that footage, was lost. We therefore have no choice but to take our field operative's word for it. Still, I have to ask, are you sure that the whole Earth was really falling apart? It wasn't an illusion or a forced perspective or something along those lines?
Nope, it was real.
I can't believe it. I'm not talking about your testimony. I'm talking about David's absolutely insane plan. Isn't he working for the foreign god? And doesn't the foreign god want to rule Earth? So how can she possibly rule the planet if it no longer exists? Koyanskaya, do you have any idea what he's thinking? The fact is, you did used to be on the Cryptor's side, so you must know more than anyone else here.
Afraid I haven't the slightest clue. And I'm not alone there. David was always enigmatic, even to the other Cryptors and the foreign god's disciples. Before the foreign god appeared here as Olga Marie, she was only focused on Lord Kirstaria. She had less than no interest in the other Cryptors. Now that I think about it, though, she did kind of seem like she was deliberately ignoring David. Well, more that she chose to leave him out of her plans. She never so much as gave him an order. Never even said she didn't care what he did. That's not how you treat a subordinate. If anything, yes, she was treating him like an equal, or possibly a superior. The foreign god and I signed a mutual non-aggression pact which let me do whatever I wanted, but the foreign god never had any authority over Lord David. Maybe Lord David was never even a Cryptor to begin with. Never a Cryptor to begin with? Does that mean he was never really on Kirstaria's side?
I see. Now I understand what that file of Wodheim's I saw in Olympus was about. Kyrie, like, David was a member of Team A, that's not in question. That said, he was never in the same position as us. He didn't owe the foreign god anything. For that matter, the rest of us had never even heard the word Cryptor until we were brought back to life. Me, Ophelia, Octa, Beryl, none of us had heard it before. But it looked like David was already familiar with it. At that time, I thought that name was like a blood oath, sealing our vow to revolt against humanity, but I was wrong. It was actually the foreign god who told Kirstaria that we were to be called Cryptors. So calling you Cryptors was not Wodheim's idea after all. Then what are the requirements for being one? Do you just need to be a member of Team A? I'm not totally sure, but like I said, the rest of us only learned the name Cryptor when the foreign god resurrected us. What's more, there was a price we had to pay if we were going to be resurrected. Resolve the incineration of humanity. While we were in our coffins, the foreign god promised to resurrect us. If we could prove we had the same power to resolve the incineration of humanity incident that Ventox and Mash did. But that was impossible. Me, Ophelia, and everyone else on Team A were all dead in our coffins. It was hopeless. We couldn't even made it through the first singularity like that. So, Wodheim did it for us. He resolved the incineration of humanity incident all by himself several times over so that we wouldn't have to. He never said anything about it, never threw it in our faces. He just made sure we all had the same opportunities he did. Yes, I can certainly see him doing that. I understand how you feel, Kadok. It's okay, I'm calmer now. I can just imagine the troubled expression on Wodheim's face if he saw me making you sympathize with me like this. Anyway, my point is, I never found any mention of David's resurrection.
I'm just guessing here, but I think David somehow managed to resurrect himself. Apparently, the foreign god needed a certain amount of energy to resurrect us. In fact, it'd take the same amount of energy needed to clear the incineration of humanity. David managed it by generating that energy all on his own. I bet even the foreign god must have been at a loss. According to Wodeim's record, the foreign god gave us only minimal support in our coffins by letting us use Chaldea's summoning system to summon servants, but apparently David didn't even make use of that. So even though it was all just a simulation, he still resolved the incineration of humanity alone, without a single servant. So he's just like a god tier mage or an elemental or an archetype or something. Like, he is in some way very exceptional in a way that we probably could not have predicted ahead of time. Regarding this conversation, I still want to know what Wodeim's final buff does. Feels like the game was setting that up for something. Maybe? I feel like the game probably sets up a lot of threads that never go anywhere, though, given just how widespread it is, both, you know, in terms of the content that it covers and the time frame that it takes to write it.
What the hell? What is he, some kind of super master or something? Was he being a jerk or just showing off? Did he just feel compelled to prove he's a better master than Ventox by resolving the incineration of humanity without a single servant's help?
It wasn't like that. Again, I'm quoting from Wodeim's records. David Semvoid was omitted because his way of thinking and living never belonged with humanity in the first place. I see. Then he would have had no choice but to satisfy this condition on his own. Because yeah, he's not part of humankind. And since he isn't on humanity's side, he couldn't summon a servant even if he wanted to. But he has command spells. I was about to say, does that mean that the Tezcatlipoca that he supposedly commands is actually a part of this Lostbelt? But he still has command spells, and we know that he's used them. And he used one of them. No, that wasn't for Tezcatlipoca, was it? He used the command spell, he like unleashed its energy to show us the future, I think. Food for thought.
Ugh, must you sound the alarm at the worst possible timing, Sommelier? What is it anyway?
We've got a problem. Something's rampaging outside. Even the dinos are all fleeing in terror. Maybe we should suspend the briefing for now and see what's up. Got it. Ventox, mash. What could make a dinos afraid? Right. Habitrot, can you help us? Sure thing. It's probably just some carnivorous insects or Ocelame anyway. I'll have this wrapped up in no time. Okay, so it's just a throwaway fight with forced Habitrot. Oh, it doesn't have to be Habitrot. Could also be Mash, and I will take Mash, I guess. Actually, I'll take Habitrot, because Habitrot can gain Bond. Okay, Phantom, can't go there. Unfortunate. Oberon, because I need him for Bond. We'll do that. And then Kukulkan, because she's new and exciting. Yeah, that's fine. If I recall correctly, MASH gives 20% party bond for this Lostbelt, and back in the shield you go, Habitrot. It was nice seeing you. Yeah, Kukulkan is very fun, though. Wait, I can pick a support? Son of a... Alright, there goes 23 AP down the drain. Well, that was fun. Man, I hate the interface for these, like, sometimes maybe forced story supports. Because I look at this party setup and I think, oh, that must be forced story support. Yes, I certainly can bring a phantom of my own. Well, now I look like a fool. 4 main story chapters. While I'm going through Lostbelt 7, I'll be looking for Chaldea Tea Time. Venton never reading my comments in time. Name a better combo. Too real. Venton jinxing himself, maybe? You know what? I should have put Phantom in the third slot, but since technically the rules are already violated, I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna worry about it. Now check this out. Double Innocent Monster, and then a Quick Chain. Moving Corpses. Interesting. Not Nido Chris, because she's not dead or alterized yet, to my knowledge. Anyway, 66 crit stars. 66 crit stars. Your Phantom is technically in the first slot of your own servants. I like the way you think, Luigi. Alright, let's crit smash our way to victory. Wow, it really is just Salem 2.0, huh? Wow, I just took notice of the enemy count. Okay, one more turn and Cuckoo will have a Noble Phantasm. Oh hey, actual enemies with real HP counts, okay. Yeah, I don't need these crit stars. I have done a pretty good job of committing to memory which skills have which effects when you spend crit stars. Also, I think that the people who were cautioning me against seeing this Noble Phantasm were just saying that because this is, you know, where it reveals that she was the one at the very beginning of the Lostbelt. That is crystal clear well before I saw her Noble Phantasm. God, look at those crit numbers, man. Like, that's so good. One of the hits, which was not 100% of the damage, did 55,000. That's with no external support. That is off of Kukulkan's skills alone. 84 crit stars I have. 84 crit stars. I could activate all three of these skills with all of the bonus stuff and still have guaranteed 100% crit rates. Absolutely nutty. To be fair, it is against Berserker. Foreigners don't get advantage often. That's true, but Kukulkan's got a high enough attack that, like, she don't really need advantage to be a good contribution to the team. Her color scheme made it obvious, yeah. The hair is exact. Well, I even called it before she was properly introduced because it's the same color as the, like, growing mineral or plant life or whatever it is that is surrounding the temple in Chichen Itza. I might lose my Phantom here. But yeah, I'm definitely leaning more and more as time goes on towards using the gold foes for Kukulkan. I wasn't sure about it last night. I was like, I'm making a snap decision because of recency bias. But now I'm feeling pretty good about that decision. Like, because she is a non-standard class, I don't have good opportunities to bust her out, you know, in the same way that, like, a Lancer has a very obvious use case. Foreigner's in kind of a weird spot where, yes, they do have an outright class advantage against Berserker, but so does basically every other servant in the game. So you don't, like, you're not super incentivized to take Foreigners against Berserkers in the same way that you're incentivized to bring an assassin against a rider, for example. Oh, would you look at that? 20% battery. How nice. Let's do this. Esk and Castoria gonna want those gold foes too. I don't know about Castoria. I don't know that I'm gonna have the funds to roll both of them, to be honest. But Esk is probably the next one that gets gold foes for me, I think. Oh, that's true. Yeah, they don't have full offensive advantage against Berserker. They do against Pretender, which, like, there are 3 of in the game, and there's no Pretender farming nodes, you know? Hey, what's up, Prolector? Bakatoria is a super strong boss killer. I like that phrase, Bakatoria. I feel like you need to be more specific, though. I feel like that applies to most versions of Artoria. There's no pretender farming node yet. And I imagine it's going to stay that way for a while. I would happily be disproven. Man, if only I had Tlaloc here. I have been messing around with like the build that I had set up on Tlaloc, and it's honestly been working out really nicely. Like, when I have her out on the field, nobody takes damage. Everyone's taking like 100 damage at a time, and then her command card that just has Painbreaker on it, done. Fixed. No damage taken. A Buster Foreigner is more valid than an Arts Foreigner, though, since they are more likely to need to rely on defensive advantage. Yes, I agree with that. The Foreigners that I've got, I think, are all Buster. I mean, Abby's in a weird place because she's got a triple arts deck, but she has no NP gain, and her Noble Phantasm is Buster and very clearly damage oriented. Yeah, we can expend some crit stars, that's fine. Because I can just get them right back. Bada bing, bada boom. Super Recollection Quests. Super Recollection Quests can go die in a hole. I hate Super Recollection Quests. I don't know who on the game design team said, you know what would be fun if we take the fights that were genuinely challenging and interesting and engaging the first time around, and we make you do them again, and then we make you do them again, but the only change is that they have 100 times more health. Same exact mechanics, same exact everything, just do more damage. Just make the fight last longer. Yeah, Summer Castoria. So Summer, Berserker, Artoria, Caster. Again, when I first started this game, I did not understand the difference between Altria, Artoria, Altera, Artoria Alter, Altria Alter, Maid Alter, Malter Salter, Jalter. Like, when I first got into the Fate fandom, I was deeply, deeply confused. Oh, by the way, I did just go ahead and say screw it and grab all of the foes that I had out of my inbox and spent them. Let me go ahead and clear... Oh, hey, I have a couple more foes that I can use. I need to filter the foes out of here again. Where do I do that? There we go. Okay. So I can show you what I have left on my foes. That's it. I have to finish George, who I think is maxed out on HP and only needs one more... Man, oh, come on, I'm so close. George, you're killing me here, dude. So I've got that where I'm like, he's practically finished. I've got Cursed Arm Hassan, who is at 1,000 attack and 0 HP. That hurts me. And then I have not given foes to either Rider Ishtar or Kuro. I don't think I'm going to give them to Kuro. I might honestly just shove Kuro in the second archive, like I did with Babbage. But like, I feel like I've held my grudge against Rishtar long enough. The confusion is what was normal. What we are now is not. That is true. It is a damning indictment of us that we can understand the jargon that is Fate. Kuro's a good servant on a gameplay perspective. Aha, but I don't care about gameplay. It is mere coincidence that at this point I have grailed most of the like really big meta servants from the last couple of years. Oh, here he comes. Here comes my man. I'm gonna back away from the microphone a little bit so I can hopefully not peek quite so much. Kamazotes! It's Kamazotes! It's the bat! The shadow of death is here! He didn't even wait for it to get dark! Run! Run for your lives! Run before he sucks your blood and turns you into a living corpse! What is this bad B-movie horror dialogue? I love it so much. More enemies approaching from the jungle. There are still more coming, Master. Those footsteps are shaking the ground. Must be mindless dinos. Be careful, everyone. That is Sue. Oh, by the way, I have today gone and updated the hiragana practice. Every single one of the base hiragana is in there now. So, as far as I'm aware, I've got all of the basic kana for the hiragana system. I have not added any of them that have dakwon, because that would be a lot. That is ta. That's one of the easier ones. I like ta. But yeah, the dakwon, which is like the quotation mark, hash marks, or the circle, those I have elected not to include. If I see one and I can like remember, like with ta, if you put the dakwon there, I believe it becomes da. So when they pop up, I'll try to think what it sounds like if it has one. So or ro? Ro, I think? Damn it, no, I was right the first time. Ah, trust your gut, Vent. Of course you like ta. It looks just like a literal abstract TA. Exactly. Exactly. We're doing a whole day Japanese practice here. I mean, I would not be against having a stream where I just sit down and frickin' learn Japanese instead of it being incidental. No president and no Kukulkan right now, so we'll need a servant to break through its defenses. Or a mystic code if you've got one that can do the trick. Oh. Aw, come on. Oh, ka? Yeah, okay. The font for some of these, and I pulled all of these images off of Wikipedia, the font is a little bit different from what I'm used to. All right. However, going into what appears to be just a throwaway trash fight definitely seems like a good time to keep practicing the hiragana. Dead Apostle Dinos. Dead Apostle, huh. Interesting. Alright, double instant monster. You've got 4 hits of invulnerability. That's fine, I don't really care. It does have a break bar, you are correct. You know what? We'll do this. Vampire T-Rex. Is that a movie? I feel like there's room in the like garbage horror movie market for vampire dinosaurs. I feel like that's a niche that hasn't been fulfilled and could definitely make one of those so bad it's good types of movies. Do you know what a dead apostle is? So I know that they're kind of vampires, but they're not really, but that's basically the best way that you can put it. Yes, attack the foreigner. Like, I know that in Tsukihime, Noelle is a dead apostle. Though what would a T-Rex need to be a vampire for, though? Why not just eat the people? That's why I'm saying, like, it'd probably have to be, like, a smaller breed of dinosaur. I'm talking, like, Velociraptor or something. Or, like, some of the, like, really, really tiny ones. Where, like, you don't think that it would be a threat. Could do an herbivore, too. Yo, Soda Pop, what is up? Happy Thursday. Today's Thursday. Welcome to the channel, everybody. I am Vent. I'm the Double Phantom guy. And currently, we are double phantoming against a Dead Apostle Dinos, which the rules dictate that I have to land a killing blow on any enemy with a break bar using Phantom of the Opera. I love your work, man. Thank you. Aw, I appreciate that. Sometimes it is rewarding. Sometimes it makes me want to bash my head in with a brick. Oh, did I forget? No, hang on. I've got Christine bot up. Oh, I just didn't wake her up. Hang on, hang on. Give me 5 seconds. Alright, the bot is awake. Now it should work. Alright. Kukulkan. Yes. Yes. I'm gonna charm. No, I'm not gonna charm, actually. I'm going to expend these crit stars to get the support Phantom. 2 hits of evade, and hopefully that doesn't matter at all, actually, because it has permanent ignore invincible. So never mind. We're just gonna hope that it is single target and that it targets Kukulkan. It does have a guts, so I don't need to worry about overkilling it. Finished my rolls for Cuckoo, got insanely lucky on her, and saw you were streaming, had to watch live. Aw, congratulations on the Kukulkan, by the way. Kukulkan slaughtered me, dude. I started last night with my gacha. I threw 120 tickets. Within, I think it was my 5th ticket, we get gold, we get a rider. Ozymandias, what are you doing here? And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's a little... Wait, what? Why did she take damage? Does it have an effect? Absorb target's HP, okay. But yeah, Ozymandias, about 10 tickets later, we get Vlad. Like, come on. Such horrid luck. Also, I didn't check if it has multiple stacks. No, it only has 1 stack of guts. 3 Cuckoo and 150. I was so lucky I got scared and had to stop. Nah, quit while you're ahead. That's the smart move. Congratulations, though. That is awesome. NP3 Kukulkan will take you very far. She is an awesome servant. She is excellent. We don't need to worry about overkilling here. Unless it has 1 HP and it dies to... I die. Okay, well, none of you saw that. None of you saw that because I didn't react fast enough and I can't go back. 350 Sync Quartz, 1 Tlaloc, and no Kukulkan. Dang, that's rough. No spooks, too. Wow. 350 Sync Quartz for 1 4-star? That is dreadful. I am so sorry. It looked like it kind of yeah, it's self-destructed. I didn't kill it on accident. It's self-destructed. I thought the same. It looked like something other than poison or pain robbed it of its intelligence. Phantom's Curse dot was the killing blow, right? Yeah, Phantom's Curse that he has. Yeah, we're gonna go with that one. I never thought we would run into monsters like that in a Lostbelt. I will be brief. You just fought a vampire. That Dinos must have been attacked by a blood-sucking monster, then became one itself. As for the animated corpses you fought prior to that one, they must have been lesser familiars and ghouls. Such monsters are created by imbibing the blood of the undead, which causes them to instinctually seek more blood even after death. They are a type of enemy we have not seen previously. They are also a foreign enemy which would normally not be our problem. So now, as if David Semvoid and Tezcatli Poco were not bad enough, it seems we must also address another new threat to Chaldea. It's not new at all. It's Kamazotes. The Dinos even said so. Kamazotes, as in one of the major dark gods of Xibalba described in the Popol Vuh text of Mayan mythology. I was not expecting the Popol Vuh to be referenced. I am a little bit surprised by that. Now that you mention it, I remember seeing details about someone by that name in Vantox's reports as well. Are you sure that it is him? Are you certain you are not mistaken, or that you misheard, perhaps? According to the Popol Vuh, Kamazotes was a monster who cut off people's heads to drink their blood, but it says nothing about him being able to control the dead.
Oh, this is bad. This is very, very bad, Shion and Da Vinci. For a Dinos, Kamazotes is even more frightening than the night. Whenever he shows up, all the Dinos hide away in their homes. And that means...
They won't be able to help repair the border, so it'll take us way longer to finish fixing it. Well, I suppose our original plan was to fix it ourselves, so we haven't really lost anything in that sense, but...
Never mind repairs for now. Is Chichen Itza in trouble? Wakchan! Is Wakchan safe? I've only had Wakchan for 5 minutes, but if anything ever happened to him, I'd kill everyone in this storm border and then myself. Yes, it is. We're in Chichen Itza territory right now, and there's no telling when those monsters might head for the city.
Then we have no choice but to defeat Kamazotes.
You'd kill Tepeyu's not in the storm border. Tepeyu's outside the storm border, okay?
Besides, he's the one who's been using Master's command spells without his permission. I knew we would have to face him eventually, so if that time is now, I have no objections.
So, he's the one with the command spells.
Alright, I don't blame you for being upset, Mash. Also, I'm surprised you already knew Kamazo's Tepu. I thought you were meeting him for the first time back in the first underworld along with the rest of us.
Well, that was my first time actually meeting him in person. Kamazotes is the only being in Mictlan who is superior to us Dinos, which makes him a frightening figure. I just happened not to think of him that way myself, so when we met him, the only thought I had was, oh, so that's Kamazotes. So the Dinos are simply scared of him then. I suppose that means it's up to us then. It's only right that we repay the Dinos for their help and hospitality. Ventox, Mash, go take care of Kamazotes for them. I'll even send Koyanskaya to help you.
Me? Why me?
Oh, no particular reason. I certainly haven't been wondering how long this vixen means to keep mooching off of us, wondering if she'll ever take a book from the Dinos page. None of that has ever even occurred to me, no sir. Not once. Anyway, good luck.
I really feel like making Gordolf 28 was a weird choice. He does not feel like less than his 40s. This man feels like a well-established adult. 20, yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's correct. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain that canonically Gordolf is 28 years old. Okay, yeah, I've got Zeke backing me up here. Yeah, like, this man does not look 28. 35 at least is my guess. Nah, I'm putting him in like early 40s, maybe late 30s. You could tell me 38, you could tell me 39, I'd buy that maybe. But like 28, no chance. It was established that he was 9 in 2007 in Fate Apocrypha. No, I know, I get that canonically why that is the case. It's just design-wise, character-wise, personality-wise, this is not a 28-year-old man.
I've decided I'm coming along too. I already know which direction the ghouls came from. It's the jungle northwest of here. The same place you all went to look for the food before.
What did you just say?
And Ilya's 18, if I recall. Okay, well, there's weird stuff going on with Ilya, canonically. Grow a handlebar mustache and do a dadly side part, and anyone will look like they're 43. I mean, that's true. The mustache definitely ages him up. But it's just, it's also the way he carries himself. The authority, the pompous nature. 24 AP, so it probably isn't a boss fight, question mark? I don't know. If Ilya's 18 wears her mustache, excuse you, Flash, I have never been able to grow real facial hair, and I am certainly older than 18. That's the inbreeding and royalty. You know what? Fair.
I was so intrigued I decided to join you. Kamazotes is probably hiding out in the ancient Khan ruins. It's a dangerous place, so this time I want to do everything I can to ensure all of your safety this time.
This time? Did something happen at these ruins before?
No, not at Khan. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Come on, let's hurry.
Tepu. He was talking about what happened with Marine.
Are these Khan ruins dangerous?
Khan was a city, well, a kingdom, really, that predated Chichen Itza. It's believed that the dinos who rebuilt Chichen Itza actually used Khan as a reference.
That's news to me. What happened then? Did the kingdom decline naturally, or did a later king decide to relocate the capital?
We're not sure. To this day, no dinos knows what Khan was like in its heyday. We don't know what life was like for the dinos who lived there, or why Khan ultimately disappeared. This was a long, long time ago, you understand. The only knowledge the priests passed down was knowledge acquired after Chichen Itza was completed. That being said, some dinos do believe that Khan's downfall had something to do with the Fourth Annihilation.
I'm curious what Vent with facial hair looks like. Me too, man. Me too. He was a bit of a man-child when we first meet him in the Lostbelt prologue, so working for Chaldea has aged him mentally. I still think that he's the best written character in the game, and I will stand by that opinion. How many channel points would I need for a Grow a Beard redeem? Give me 100 gift subs, and maybe we'll talk about it. I've tried, man. I was in a production of Fiddler on the Roof a few years ago, and for those who are not familiar with Fiddler on the Roof, it is one of the greatest Broadway musicals ever written. It takes place in the village of Anatevka in Russia, basically. And it centers around a group of, you know, traditional Jews in that geographic area. And so, like, stereotypically, very, like, big hair, very curly, long, full beards and mustaches. So I played Model, the tailor, who is one of, like, the main characters. He's, like, the main romantic lead for the oldest daughter. And my director came up to me and was like, so you can grow a beard, right? So that we have that ready for opening night. And I was like, dude, no. I'm sorry, Christopher, I cannot grow a beard. He was like, yes, you can. Just grow it out for a while. You know, we'll come back in a couple months and we'll see. I was like, okay. And I come back like the week that we're doing tech. And I'm like, dude, I look like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. I have not shaved for 2 months. You need to let me shave, and we're either doing a fake beard, which I don't recommend, or I'm just going to be barefaced, and we're just going to have to deal with that. My character is canonically like 17. Like, I can be barefaced. It's fine. Ultra-Orthodox Jews can't shave, can confirm. Yep, exactly. They have the sideburns. I had to wear false burns for costuming. Yeah. So for that, we just decided no fake beard, because fake beards don't look good on stage, and also they are awful for singing and acting. And I just look like this, basically. Lalter from Londinium is the best written character of FGO. Man, Flash really coming out here in my chat and spitting facts. So, Miklon also experienced extinction events.
No, it didn't reach the level of extinction. The dinos survived, as you can see. I already told Father Kotomine this, but according to Kukulkan, Miklon's son once went into a hibernation of sorts. Consequently, Miklon experienced a night which lasted for a very, very long time. In turn, the dinos had no choice but to follow the sun's lead, close their eyes, and enter a deep slumber. In your terms, the sleep lasted about 100,000 years. When the sun returned, less than 10% of the dinos who had gone to sleep were able to reawaken.
100,000 years? And only 10% of you came back? There's no way you could have repopulated your species with so few... Well, now that I think about it, humans experienced a similar miracle. 70,000 years ago, back when the modern humankind only existed in West Africa, there was a freak weather event that reduced the population down to only 2,000 people. They survived the crisis, though, and eventually spread to other continents, eventually growing their numbers to the 7 billion alive today. Although the way Tepio put it, it sounds like the dinos are able to cryopreserve themselves. Maybe they have something similar to cryptobiosis, the ability that lets tardigrades survive even in outer space. That clinches it. The dinos are clearly a new type of prime species. One that was purposefully designed with a talent for genetic manipulation that never existed in proper human history.
That was a very difficult sentence to say while just keeping up sight reading as the text scrolled by. Holy mackerel.
It's not much further to the Ka'an ruins now. Please watch your step, everyone. There are many fences to trip on there.
So I am not familiar with that bit of, like, human history. How on earth do we know that humankind was down to roughly 2,000? That's kind of crazy. You can slow down auto scroll in the options. No, it's good for me. I should keep it up because it keeps the pace moving forward. Dinky is very wordy. I fully understand reading her dialogue being hard. It's Da Vinci's technobabble and any Japanese names. The Nahuatl that I have been facing in this Lostbelt has also been a challenge. I happen to have a little bit of context for the Nahuatl language, though, and specifically a lot of these mythological terms, so... Like, Popol Vuh, for example, I was like, oh, that's just how that's pronounced. I wasn't like, the Popol Vuh? I know it. Probably archaeological site from that time. Gene diversity or lack thereof. Oh, that's interesting. What about Mash's encyclopedia spitting? I hope that's over with. I hope that we're done with Mash's encyclopedia spitting.
Right. Something feels off about them. Koyanskaya, is something wrong? Something wrong? Perish the thought. I was just taking a little trip down memory lane, that's all. More importantly, look up. Don't you recognize those flapping sounds and that creepy laugh?
My man! Alright, let me back away from the microphone here for a sec. Please let me know if I'm peaking or if my mic is getting distorted due to the Kamazo's voice, because I put a lot of energy behind this.
How cruel! How endlessly, deliciously cruel! You cluster together in your weakness, cowering, trembling, you build walls. You prosper and eventually have yourselves a kingdom. But no matter how you rack your brains, you're still hopelessly weak. All that hard work wasted. Mike peaked? Aw, darn. In the end, all that remains of you is your bones and the ruins of your shattered, forgotten dreams. What can one do but laugh? But look down upon you in contempt. Truly, the tears of the weak are as sweet as the blue blood in their veins.
I love this man so much. How is he not summonable? Oh my god, if this man's not the anniversary servant... Well, actually, he probably won't be the anniversary servant because 10 years, I still think, has to be like Romani Solomon Goetia. Why is your Zote's voice the same as Beetlejuice? Oh no. That's probably less cursed than the other comparison that I drew.
Oh, I've enjoyed waiting for you, apes. It was worth the trouble of sending my messengers to get your attention. I'm accustomed to boredom, but don't take that to mean I'm anything approaching patient. You responded so quickly, the dinos could learn a lot from you in that regard. But faster isn't always better. I only count 3 servants with you this time, the shield girl, the child scholar, and a gussied up beast. Do you really mean to challenge me, the lord of the underworld, with this pathetic lot? Has Tezcatlipoca rattled you so much that you forgot the foolhardy display of valor you showed in the underworld, priest of Chaldea? Fine. Let's have your excuse then. Why have you underestimated me?
Hey, it's not like we're in the underworld right now. Yeah, exactly. We're not on your turf.
So you think you needn't fear me because we aren't in the underworld? Is that it? Insolence! 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 Insolence!
My poor voice.
All right. That should do it.
Hello? There we go.
You may be infuriating beyond compare, but you are brave. I like that.
I peaked on the 3rd death. Oh no. Oh no. See, what's interesting is I'm keeping my eye on the bar, on the volume bar, and it's not crossing into the yellow or even into the red, so it might not be like volume-wise peaking, it might be something else, and I'll have to check around with the filters on that. But that's good to know.
These summoning arts fascinate me. It's rather fun getting to meet dead warriors. I see you've reclaimed 2 of the command spells. 1 still belongs to the underworld, though. My original plan was to cut your head off in the 4th layer. And to take your eyes and brain for myself. But it seems it's time to show you how wrong you are about being able to defeat me, just because we're not in the underworld. It's time to slake my thirst. Don't worry, all I need from you is your head. I do so love blood, but I hate having the same blood twice. Unfortunately, you all look alike. I can't be expected to tell an ocelotl from a servant, so it's my personal policy to kill any creature whose blood I've tasted before. Would you like to know why? So I don't ever have to look at them again, and won't have to resort to tasting their blood twice. So welcome. Welcome, listen well, undead warriors of Ka'an. The time has come to add to your ranks.
Okay. Throwaway fight against trash mobs first, and then fight against giant ghost sprite that we use as a placeholder for any servant that we haven't actually ever created. Did you mark the awesome music square on the bingo board yet? Because Kamazo's music deserves it. Oh, I haven't actually been listening to Kamazo's music because I've just been so into his voice and his character. But yeah, I have banger soundtrack on here. let's let Kukulkan rest for a minute, and we'll bring out Tlaloc. Because this is a good node for a pretender. Battle Infinite, you say? I mean, it is the legions of the undead.
指だけ残っていればいい。ここでお前たちを歓迎しよう。不死なるカーンの戦士よ。その同胞を増やす時だ。
Okay, cool. We begin with a Tlaloc Brave Chain. Nice. Actually, I would kind of prefer that later. I would prefer that after I've done this. Okay, well, every enemy has increased defense and decreased damage taken, and break bars, and there are an infinite number of waves, so we're gonna have to see what that means for us in the long run. I really do feel like they missed with the voice casting. Yeah, I was kind of surprised to hear his voice. But also, what do you mean we literally have him voiced and he's not a playable servant? What are you talking about? That's Link? Hiya! Okay, I can actually kind of hear that. That is not surprising. All right. Well, there's one boss down. That's a lot of buffs. And it didn't matter. That's funny. I can just cleanse. I can just steal the buffs away, so that's good. I didn't pay attention to which one got multiple moves, but I think it was the first one, so that's the one I'm gonna charm. I have an assumption about how this is going to go, so I'm going to act on that assumption. Zotes is named King of Braves on JP because his voice actor played Gao Gaigar, King of Braves. I am not familiar with this character. Goetia had a voice and he isn't playable, not like it hasn't happened before, but like Goetia is a really, really special circumstance, right? Like, Goetia was like the final boss. Like, literally was intended to be the final boss of the game. It's a classic mecha anime. Huh. Alright, well now we just have to hope that the Khan warrior doesn't eviscerate me. Wodyne is voiced, and so is Zeet. That's true. Withered, decaying, tipped bow. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Oh, finally, I feel the heat. I finally feel my new apartment's heat working. I'm freezing in here, y'all. I don't remember what her overcharge effect is, but we'll act on it. How far you can heat her? Well, the problem is I'm in a corner room, and so in the middle of winter, this is a very, very cold room because the heat does not stay retained. Okay, so Phantom's Noble Phantasm does ignore defense. Unfortunately, I have the wrong Phantom, so I can't do a Brave Chain. But I can do this. Las Vegas resident. Cold? What's that? It's a magical thing that lets you see snow. Okay, cool. I didn't know how much the damage resistance that they have is. Yeah, okay, so this is about what I was expecting. We pop that damage cut. And then we'll do this. Tlaloc isn't taking any damage, I tell you what. I heard it snowed in Florida recently. All the schools and half the businesses must have been closed, so it's only in the like northernmost part of Florida. Like most of the state of Florida and the parts that you really think of when you think Florida, those didn't get snow. I would very much like Phantom's Noble Phantasm right now. Yamete. Just stop. Okay, this makes things a little bit tougher. I could brick someone just to keep Phantom alive. I almost think that that's a good play, to the point that I'm gonna do it. I have to remember which of these command codes does what. Okay, yeah, I want the Bride of the White Rose here. North, Central, and Southern Floridas are very different culturally and slightly different climate. Yes, culturally I can definitely vouch for. I spent 6 years in Central Florida. I'm very happy to be away from Florida. Vent was a Florida man. Vent was a Florida man until about 3 months ago. So I'm imagining that this probably is going to be a fake out fight. The question is, what is the end condition? Do I just go until I lose, or am I going to have to clear a certain number of waves? Either way, I'm gonna try to land Phantom kills, but you know, one has to assume that it's a genuine boss fight, and so if I have to proceed even not landing a Phantom kill, then so be it. Now he is a cold man, that is true. I would take the cold over the hot, though. Man, them crits hurt. I mean, he didn't have the taunt for another turn anyway, so it didn't really matter. We're just gonna go ahead and charm this saber, and then attack this archer. And hopefully we will be able to take it out, and then we only have to worry about one attack. Okay, good. Okay. Oh no, we had to worry about 2 attacks. Lovely. Yeah, I don't think Phantom's surviving another turn, most likely. Oh, nope. Well, let's just see what further awaits us, huh? Why don't we? You're fighting RGB skeletons, you consider this a boss? I know that they have break bars, but like, come on. Yeah, this is one of the circumstances where I look at it and I say, we make a judgment call about what a boss is. The rules do not explicitly define a boss as a break bar enemy. That's just kind of a good guideline that we have used historically on the channel. Which of these gives her the most healing? Child of the Tundra or... Oh no, Child of the Tundra, just flat out. No, it just says Phantom has to land the killing blow on bosses. Alright, wave 4. I really do have to wonder if this is just gonna boil down to go until you lose. Yeah, I would say this is a good time to practice my hiragana, because we're just watching Tlaloc go burr. That is Tay. That's another one of the easy ones, because to me it looks like a T, and I can just remember T, Tay, done. There's a handful of them that I look at and I'm like, ugh. Oh no. One of the gifts is broken. It's possible that some of the gifts are broken, and I don't know which ones. I know that was Tay, we just did it. And I have no good way to identify it, because it looks like it's all working on the back end. That is Ta, once again. You must really be a masochist after I read your rules. Oh yeah, I've been doing this since year 1. I've been doing this for 7 years now. Like, nah. That one's nah. Kinda hard to lose with a good servant. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Tlaloc is pretty dang good. Okay. Let me just hydrate real quick. All right, yep, you are correct. This is a banger. Did you buy yourself a Nihongo dictionary too? No, I am using a variety of resources for learning my Japanese. It is difficult though, because the grammatical structure is hard to explain, and so the vocabulary is difficult to grasp because you can't contextualize it very well. So right now, I'm just trying to do hiragana, then katakana, and then kanji. Now, kanji takes forever because it's just impossible.
Truly spectacular fighting, servants. Reminds me of the good old Dark Ages. I never thought the billion souls and gallons of blood I consumed would one day be the driving force for all these skeletons.
Is that a new sprite? I think it is. Is he embedding warrior souls inside the skeletons?
We can't even get near Kamazotes with all these skeletons around. Do you have a shot, Koyanskaya? I'm afraid not. This crowd of skeletons is doing a wonderful job of making an obstruction of themselves. Unfortunately for us, this is the perfect place for a necromancer. By my count, there are no fewer than 100,000 corpses buried here.
Fall back! Fall back!
That's right. I don't need the underworld to summon the dead. And it looks like you apes can't see the blood threads I'm using to bind souls to the skeletons.
Damn it! Guy looks like an idiot, but he's really good at this. He's got us boxed in. We don't have a way out.
And this is where Tepe reveals that he's able to, like, destroy the undead.
I can force my way past them and into the jungle, but I won't get more than a few meters. I don't think retreat is an option right now, Master.
Then we go after Kamazotes instead. And we see his battle sprite.
What? I'm afraid that's not a good idea.
Let me scoot forward again.
The moment Mash gets close to him, he'll retreat back up to the sky and the skeletons will completely swarm her. We need a decoy. Someone big and tough who won't get hurt in all of this. Obviously, it has to be me. Alright everyone, I'll see you later. I shouldn't be able to hold out as long as the sun is here, but I would very much appreciate if you came to rescue me as soon as you can.
Huh? Tepu?
What? Wait, what?
No, that's the Dinos barrier Ventox mentioned in his report. It looks as strong as an electromagnetic armor. Oh boy, that was hard. There, I fired a volley of my prized napalm rockets. We now have a clear path into the jungle. It won't last long though, so I suggest anyone who wants to live get moving, and quickly. Senpai!
Fall back! Fall back! Tepe has permanent invuln. He has 4 hits of invuln. Alright. Man, the 0 AP story missions have been few and far between here, which on the one hand, I really regret. On the other hand, I like it a lot. I'm very happy about that. Tepeyu just has to not act because it won't ever be the skeleton's turn if he doesn't move. That's true. We overheard everything on the comms. We know Tepeyu stayed behind in enemy territory. I wish we could combat the enemy's numbers with our own, but... We'll help save Master Tepeyu. We've got to. But we can't handle Kamazotes. He's just too scary. I know we shouldn't be afraid, but I just can't stop shaking.
Oh, for...
Did my audio mess up again? I don't know why Lostbelt 7 is just being so incredibly uncooperative with me. By the way, did you pull for Cuckoo? Yes, I did. And it was rough. I'm actually going to be uploading a YouTube video of it probably Saturday, I would expect. I need to edit it, but I am trying to commit to being better about using my YouTube channel. It's hard to do with Fate, because, like, I guess my best option is to do, like, highlights, and that requires me to sit and watch through my streams so that I can chop it up and edit it, so it takes time. But for rolls, definitely, I'll be putting rolls up on YouTube. It was rough, though. It was really, really rough. It was a bad set of rolls. Not in terms of my, you know, empirical luck. I got a decent amount of gold servants. I got a lot of Tlalocks. I got a few SSRs. The problem was that I spent 120 tickets to start, and in those 120 tickets, I got Vlad Zerker and Ozymandias and no Kukulkans. So that was just a rough start, followed by a long dry spell.
We're not going to demand that non-combatants put themselves in danger. We just need your speed. Run to the temple as fast as you can and fetch Kukulkan. She's ridiculously strong. She should have no trouble handling hundreds, no, thousands of enemies.
Our 7th bro's already doing just that, but he screeched that he can't find Lady Kukulkan anywhere.
Damn it, she just does whatever the hell she feels like, doesn't she? Ugh. I suppose this is it then. Koyanskaya can't do much against skeletons since they don't desire anything, and with Captain unable to leave the border right now, the responsibility falls onto me, Gordolf, to whip out my Goth punch and take down the legions of the undead. Does this mean it's time for Kadok with his anti-beast magecraft and combat focus, so accustomed to fighting on the front lines? Shion, an expert alchemist and elite member of the Atlas Institute whose plans always go according to her calculations. Myself, an intellectual mage and expert commander who orders left and right from HQ. And Mounier, who can probably also do something useful to join Ventox in battle?
I am not really a combatant, you know. I cannot use threads or pull off combos or anything like that. I overheard the whole thing. It seems my time has come. Nitocris, I assume? Yeah, exactly. Duh. No one can match me in the art of necromancy. That Kamazotes is even using zombies and skeletons. Oh, sorry, I see. That Kamazotes is even using zombies and skeletons shows just how much he has to learn. Yeah, the syntax can be kind of hard to parse when you don't get the whole sentence at once. If this demon claims to be a skilled summoner, I will show him the true might of Egyptian technique. The technique that takes even our undead's comfort and well-being into consideration by ensuring they still have bodies.
Oh, now that is confidence right there. I'd never have believed you were the same servant who has been on a losing streak since we got here. Well said, Nitocris. This is your chance to redeem yourself after your humiliating loss to Tlaloc.
Did you really need to bring that up right now? Let it never be said that tact is one of Gordolf's strong suits. Yes, I can hear them, the voices of the dead. With so many here, even an inexperienced necromancer could embed them in vessels. He could call out to 100 dead and he would only capture one. I doubt he cares who he gets as long as they can fight. So the other 99 are just ghosting him, but
I am. This is where we fought that turkey. I remember its cry was no ordinary thing. I see now it's because it was calling out to the dead. That's why it affected me so much. I can hear the voices of the dead. I am ashamed that I didn't realize this at the time and only dismissed it as a healthy morning call. So you essentially left your spirit channel on and dialed up to the maximum volume? More or less, yes. It didn't do me any favors at the time, but at least I can make use of the experience now. I'm going to layer a spell that mimics that bird's cry over Kamazotz's necromancy, essentially jamming his signal. Only a truly exceptional necromancer could hope to keep control of their familiars under those circumstances. So which set of ears do you use to listen to the dead anyway? Do try to keep your insolence to a minimum. As for my ears, it doesn't matter either way.
I am very eager to see what Avenger Nitocris's role is in the story, if it's going to be more than just, I am one of the Guardians.
We're here. These are the Khan ruins. Now where's Tepu?
Ouch. These Khan soldiers are hurting me.
Looks like he's tired, but still hanging in there. Phew, we're not too late.
So you returned, Chaldean boy. Good. Struggling like that really gets your blood pumping. So what'd you bring this time? A storm? A fire? A disease? It doesn't matter. The Khan warriors are indestructible. You can never beat them with the kind of violence that you'd use on the living.
Insert anime noises here.
I don't know what's going on, but this would seem to be our chance. I'll open my underworld mirror and cleanse the spirits that fill this land.
A necromancer, I knew it. You should be ashamed. Revolting. Revolting. I want to tear my own eyes out. It's so hideous. Kill that woman, my warriors. Otherwise, she will send you into a nightmare from which you'll never awaken. How dare you hear the voices of the dead even outside the underworlds? There's only room in Miklon for one necromancer, and that's me.
I like the design of these skeleton sprites. And yet, okay, well, I'm not gonna speak too prematurely. I was gonna say, and yet no forced Nitocris, but I think I'm probably going to be proven wrong shortly. Really? Okay, no, okay, we're good, we're good. Well, I will bring my own Nitocris. Actually, that's inefficient. No, wait. We're good. Okay, Phantom of the Opera here, except Phantom can't be a frontline servant because MASH has to be set as a starting servant, which is dumb. It is still not possible to grail MASH in Fate Grand Order, even on JP, correct? Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. Like this. I would so grail MASH to at least 100. Can you change where the support servant is? I don't think I could change where the Nitocris was. Yeah, you tell him.
やはりそうか資料使い恥を知れ目玉が潰れるほどおぞましい戦士ども殺すがいい冥界以外で死者の声を聞く蛮行を許すまじ
His dead jamming. What do we have here? Chance to inflict stun against undead. Reduce skill cooldown for yourself by 1 at the end of turn. Interesting. That's probably useful. Anyway, bye. I just want Phantom Noble Phantasms. That's how I win. Because these guys just don't matter. They have no HP and they just have high defense. Sure. We don't have enough coins for a single mash append? Yeah. I mean, it's just weird, the whole design of the whole thing. I was kind of hoping that we would kill Mash there, not gonna lie. He sounds more gravely. Yeah, I agree. The performance of Kamizo's voice actor there was a whole lot stronger, I think. See, I don't like this. I don't like this right here. This is a problem. We're close to a Phantom NP. Okay, that worked out perfectly. Okay, whew, we're good. Because now Kukulkan comes out, and Kukulkan can give Phantom a Noble Phantasm. Actually, so can Oberon. Nice. I do wish I had crit stars. Oh, wait. I do. Would you look at that? Yeah. So this should be pretty free. Those aren't bosses though, so either way works. This was actually just because this was the most efficient play. Like, they have such high defense, but it doesn't matter because Phantom can just do that. Like, a Phantom Noble Phantasm equals clear the wave. Now, in retrospect, maybe I shouldn't have done that because I could have used the battery and I wasn't paying attention to the fact that this is a three-wave fight. But that's fine. No, this is one of very rare circumstances where Phantom of the Opera is actually genuinely a viable solution to the puzzle of this fight. From what I've seen, Cuckoo rolls are either like first multi or you're going to hit almost pity. Yeah. Is that enough to mark the bingo? Did I already mark that square? Let's find out. I think I did. Yes, I already marked that square. Which Cuckoo outfit is your favorite? Space skin suit or chaps? I like the chaps better than the space skin suit. She reminds me too much of Calamity Jane in this Ascension. And like, I don't dislike Calamity Jane, but I see Calamity Jane as like just a miss. Like, I feel like there was a whole lot of opportunity and she just didn't quite land. Which boss fight did Phantom solve? That I do not remember. He likes the chaps because of this. Look, if that was the reason I liked the chaps, then this outfit would be no different whatsoever. Do I have my charm? No. Shame. Understandable. Have a nice day. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not sure what this third Ascension is going to end up looking like, so it'll remain to be seen. But the thing is, like, it doesn't really matter too much what her outfit is because I just like her design at its core. Her clothes don't really matter. I just really, really like this, like, iridescent green hair. I like the color scheme. I like the face design. I like her eyes. Like, she's just cool. She's pretty, and I have a weakness for pretty women. That's why I got married. Calamity Jane's FGO design is so strange for a historical woman well known for cross-dressing. Yeah. My folks live out near South Dakota, near the town of Deadwood, which is where Calamity Jane's like story is from. They have a statue of Calamity Jane in the street, which I have taken a picture with. Whoo! Whoo! Close call on that one, eh? Let's use Oberon's Noble Phantasm right now, because I do not want to take any risks here. To be fair, it's supposed to be Space Servant Verse version of Calamity Jane. That's true. I don't know, man. Calamity Jane, for people who weren't here for the beginning of the game, there was a data mine that Calamity Jane was in the game's, like, data files since very near the beginning of the game's lifespan. And that's really disappointing because we had high hopes for her character that she just didn't really live up to, unfortunately. Okay, so how to not die here? I just need Phantom to survive a turn. Brick Oberon? I don't know about that because I need to get Phantom's Noble Phantasm next turn. Maybe Brick Kukulkan, honestly. Oh, I can Cuckoo NP right now and then brick her. Yeah. That's it. That's the winner. I don't think there's really like an optimal play with the face cards. I think it's just use this and then use whatever. Just got Cuckoo yesterday and already sacrificing her. I'm not sacrificing her, I'm just letting her rest. She just needs a nap, and so she's about to go sleepy bye. Yeah, as long as all of those broke, then we're in good shape. This is why she evaded you for so long. Nah, she evaded me for so long because I lost my freaking catalyst. Everyone say goodbye to Kukulkan. It's time to thank her for her sacrifice. What was your catalyst supposed to be? So I've talked before about how my Dungeons and Dragons group, we played a campaign where the Phantom actually probably doesn't have enough damage here, which is a problem. Actually, it's probably not a problem because I have Nitocris. Where the theme was Aztec mythology. And so I was gonna bust out the like binder that I had for that, which included like written down information about Quetzalcoatl, about Xolotl, about the Popol Vuh, about the Ehekilococcoscatl, about some of the like familiars, the names of which I'm forgetting. Oh shoot, I can't remember. But like had a bunch of Aztec stuff with it, so that was what I was planning on doing. So we're gonna go Anpu Nebtaja Ser, Christine, and then this. Unlocked Third Ascension Tlaloc, nice. I'm curious what her Third Ascension's gonna be, but like, damn, that Second Ascension is too good. That Second Ascension, she just looks so fly. Wow, I was not expecting that many insta-kills. Nice. I was actually expecting exactly 0. It's not better than second. I don't think it could be. Hello, Kukulkan. I am very close to a master level. That's exciting. Bones, if only I needed them. Seems I'm really the only player that's not terribly fond of her Second Ascension. Well, the good news is even if you're not fond of her Second Ascension, her First Ascension is also lit. Her First Ascension is fantastic too. Like, I knew I liked her from the first time she walked on screen, and then she had an outfit change, and I was like, oh boy.
What is this? What just happened?
What happened is that you just lost, Demon God. I've rid these ruins of all the dead spirits gathered here. You no longer have even a single pawn to command.
I said, what just happened?
You see, ooh, there's some romantic tension happening here. I feel like this moment in the narrative might have hit a little bit harder Like, this would have been a genuine surprise if we did not know that Nitocris Alter existed in the first place. Can I be Nito, please? Excuse you, me first, me first. Actually, I'd be happy to be either of them in this circumstance. Kamazotes?
One move and I'll split her from head to toe with my scythe.
Yeah, so fast. He grabbed me before I even had time to blink.
Now answer me, woman. What just happened here? How did you do it?
You mean how I returned your familiars to the earth? I just used my own dead spirits to banish your...
No, no, no! The soldiers you commanded! You were treating those pale ghosts as if they were your own subjects, weren't you? Those ghosts were long dead. Any dreams they had vanished along with their souls. And you are going to tell me, what? That you remember each of their names?
What?
Answer me! Do you actually bother remembering them at all? Do you really recall those dead people's names and deeds every single time you call upon them?
Of course I do. Those ghosts were all once loyal subjects of the Pharaoh. Even if they are no longer with us, I still honor their names and deeds. A pharaoh who reigned as briefly as I did is only able to exist as a heroic spirit because I share their pain.
Ah! 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 Disgusting, utterly disgusting. Oh, I want to tear my own skin off. I can't take it. I can't take it any longer. This is the worst day ever, ruined by the worst woman ever. What even are those ridiculous rabbit ears? They make every hair on my body stand on end. I'm going to Yaokwi for a healing bath. That spring, the source of night, should at least rid me of these awful chills.
Vent not only weak to beautiful women. I mean, I am most weak to beautiful women. However, for a character like Kamazotes, for a character who is just unhinged, who is just cracked in the skull, who is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, I enjoy that archetype very much as well. Now, when you happen to combine those two characters, when you put a really just whack job, completely psychopath character, when you put that personality into a pretty woman, that's where you win me over.
I'm not really sure what he was talking about, but I get the feeling that it was very insolent indeed.
Also, the bait and switch, I thought we were about to get Nitocris Alter, but no. It was revealed in relation to this scene that the CG is depicting him trying to see her face. Interesting. If crazy, why hot? That's not even a question. We are all familiar with the direct relationship on the graph between the y-axis of crazy and the x-axis of hot. I think I reversed those.
Anyway, I didn't manage to land a hit on him, but does this mean that we've driven him away?
I'd say this counts as a victory.
Indeed, victory is yours, and I live to see another day. Thank you all so much. Nitocris, you did what no one else has ever been able to accomplish. You defeated Kamazotes and drove him off. I have no doubt there's going to be a grand festival in Chichen Itza tonight. You should return there with your head held high.
I see. A festival, huh? Wait, what?
Blushing Nitocris is good Nitocris. Most Nitocris's are good Nitocris's. I literally have a level 100 Salome. My opinion on the subject should be clear. Very. Alright. In case you couldn't tell, my alt account has been hard at work today. This is quite a party. Please don't make me see. Damn it, there he is. Spectacular work, Nitocris. No other warrior has ever managed to drive Kamazotes away. The Dinos will never forget what you've done. From now on, whenever they encounter a problem, they'll say, Nitocris didn't give up when she drove off that annoying bat. WWND, what would Nitocris do? Insolence! Insolence! Huh? Huh? Still not fully grasping the situation, says Nitocris, standing alone on the altar.
Party's still going by the sound of it. I can still hear the dinos all the way out here. This is not how I imagined today would go, but at least Chaldea is super popular with the dinos now. Starting tomorrow, we should be able to focus on repairing the border again. But before that...
Yes, we need to continue our discussion from earlier. It seems that the last cryptor, David Semvoid, has a plan of his own, entirely separate from the foreign gods. Oh yeah, remember that? Remember how we were having a meaningful conversation before this whole little side tangent happened? He means to use Ort, wherever it is in this Lostbelt, to destroy the entire planet. So our top priority now, ahead of tracking down Ort or cutting down the Tree of Emptiness, is to stop David's plan. Though of course, since we have not yet been able to detect the Tree of Emptiness, much less locate it, we can do little in the way of planning to cut it down. Ort counter? I've taken away the Ort counter just since it seems like the shtick is up. We've already encountered him. Or it, I suppose. Yeah, between crashing, getting taken prisoner, the surprise cultural exchange, and the zombie attack, I honestly haven't even given a thought to searching for the Tree of Emptiness. How about you, Ventox? Mash? Have you two seen anything around that looked like it could maybe be the Tree of Emptiness? So my crackpot theory is that Mictlan is the Tree of Emptiness. Like, that the tube shape of Mictlan is the hollow of the interior of the trunk of the tree. That would be my best guess. I don't think we really have any clues as to anything else. The other, possibility is that it's hidden at the bottommost layer. Maybe I would be more inclined to believe that that's where Ort is, rather than that being where the tree is.
I agree with Senpai. The surface is completely devastated, while this underground world teems with life. I think if we understood Mictlan's structure, we'd have no trouble figuring out where the Tree of Emptiness is, but...
You people are all overthinking this. Things like the Tree of Emptiness are always in the deepest, most inaccessible parts of their world. So it seems clear to me that we'll find Mictlan's Tree of Emptiness at its southernmost point, the 9th bottommost stratum, thinking vertically. And that means once the storm border is back up and running, we can fly right to it. So for now, let's just be patient. Give our technical advisor and Shion some time to finish the repairs while we kick back and relax in our air-conditioned rooms.
Not happening, Gordolf. Did you forget about the report of what happened in Mexico City? If we don't do something soon, we won't be able to stop the future where Ort wakes up, and we have no idea how long it'll be until that happens. So the best thing we can do right now is stop Tezcatlipoca and David's plan before they can wake up Ort.
Right, that slipped my mind. But the future they saw was already set, no? Will us stopping their plan change that?
Of course. If we do nothing, the future they saw in Mexico City will be set. But right now, we are still at the crossroads of the present. Should Ort wake, we will no longer be able to alter the future Tezcatlipoca showed us. However, if we can stop Ort from waking, the future is entirely in our hands. Yep, and that's why we need all the information we can get. Who exactly is David Semvoid? How is he planning to wake Ort? For that matter, what exactly is Ort? We still haven't detected it in Mictlan, so right now we can't even say whether it's asleep or dead. Without that information, we can't really formulate a plan. As much as I wish otherwise. Unfortunately, we don't have any way of finding more information. Neither the dinos nor the King of Dinosaurs seem to have any knowledge of things outside Chichen Itza. Maybe we could infiltrate Mexico City again and ask David himself. Nah, that's a dumb idea. Even if we managed to get in and find him, he'd sooner die than tell us anything.
Ugh, what should we do then? It's been less than a year since David came to this Lostbelt, the same as it was for the other cryptors. So where was he for all that time? What was he doing? How did someone so opposed to humanity summon Tezcatlipoca? Where exactly are Ort and the Tree of Emptiness? If only we could talk to someone who had the answers to those questions. Of course, we could never be so lucky for there to be someone around who conveniently has the knowledge we need.
Oh, is that all you need?
Because I'm pretty sure you can find a Dinos who knows what that Cryptor's been doing since his arrival. They're in Metztitlan.
I like both of these options, but I have to ask Kukulkan, when did you get here? Because I feel like that leads to more comedy.
Oh, sorry. The Dinos have been pestering me for more of your stories. So I came here to fetch Ventox and Mash. But your conversation was so interesting, I just couldn't help but listen in, yes? I see. Sorry we didn't notice you. So where is this Metztitlan place? In our world's Aztec mythology, it's part of the name of the first of the 13 heavens, the bottommost domain where the moon moved, Ilhuatl Meztli. So, from what you're saying, I gather it's some kind of moon-like facility overlooking all of Mictlan. That's right. Unlike the bastard in the sunglasses, I don't know much about the future or causality or any other complicated topics. But I do still want to help you, so I decided to skip the council meeting in Mictlan and come here to talk. If you don't know the answer to a question, ask someone who does. And there's a very knowledgeable Dinos who's good at answering questions in the Metztitlan Observatory, yes? So there is someone up there with an even greater knowledge of Mictlan than you. So that is, who in the world is this person, and are they a part of their teachings of the sun like you? Good question. The circumstances of our births are pretty similar. If you think of me as Mictlan's new son, she is Mictlan's new land. She can never leave the place where she was born. And that place is the last destination humankind can reach on their own power, the observatory that was built in the 7th stratum. It's known as Metztitlan, the Eternal Observatory, and is the home of Princess Shqueak. Shqueak? The stargazer known as Archetype Earth. Oh. Okay. Hi, Arcuid. How are you? Wait. Hold the phone. Hold the bloody phone. You are telling me that Archetype Earth is a Dinos in this Lostbelt. Interesting. Maybe not Arcuid? Maybe Arcuid? Maybe Dinosaur Arcuid? Dinosaur Arcuid? Does that mean that there is a shot at there being a canon Neko Dinos Arcuid? She is a duplicate of the planet's soul. She has existed ever since Mictlan first came into being. For anyone who doesn't know wider Nasuverse lore, that moment does not have any impact at all. The 7th stratum, Metztitlan, the Terminal Observatory, almost like the Chaldea of Mictlan.
Thank you, Kukulkan. I wasn't expecting a lifeline, but you've truly proven to be our savior. Alright, everyone, you heard the goddess. We're beginning a new operation. Ventox, Mash, Habitrot, Da Vinci, and Nitocris over there having the time of her life.
Oh, I see.
And Nitocris over there having the time of her life. Prepare to leave for the 7th stratum at once. And could I ask you to accompany them too, Kukulkan? Da Vinci will only be there to handle data analysis. You're the strongest fighter around by far. We would be very grateful if you were willing to help Ventox.
Of course! Yay, thanks, Director! Now I have the perfect excuse to cancel my annoying council meeting. I can't turn down a request for aid after all. Shion and I will stay here to focus on repairing the border. Koyanskaya, you're on guard duty. What will you do, Kadok? You'll be helpful no matter which group you go with. So you should go where you think you can do the most good. Okay, I'll stay with the border too, but I can't help with the repairs. I'm going to go over the clock tower files since they might have something on Daybit.
Oh, good idea. I think I'll do the same. The clock tower files are heavily encrypted though. We'll need to decrypt them one at a time.
I can help with that, though it will have to be in my downtime between repair tasks.
Alright then, it's settled. Let's get to work, everyone. But not right this second. Ventox and Kyrie Light still need to rest. You both have a responsibility to get 7 hours of sleep and 2 hours of relaxation each day. Boy, really living here in fantasy land, aren't you, Gordolf? Here in the year 2025, ain't nobody got that kind of luxury. You'll be departing tomorrow morning. Until then, take some time to enjoy the Chichen Itza nightlife if you like.
Sir, yes, sir. But first, we should probably rescue Nitocris from the shrine. And since the dinos want to hear more Lostbelt stories, we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We've got a long journey ahead of us starting tomorrow, so this might be your last chance to talk to them. Make sure to tell them as much as you can.
And that's the story of probably the worst Lostbelt. Wow, a world of all vassals and just 1 human. Man, that's efficient. Really efficient. The vassals do all the heavy labor to keep the world running and provide the king with culture. The king evaluates it all and becomes the primary figure in making further advancements. Technological development could never take a wrong turn in a world like that. The other Lostbelt worlds were pretty astonishing too, but in terms of completion, the Chinese Lostbelt sounds like it was right at the top. I know what you mean. No one in this society ever had to feel unnecessary suffering, or want things they could never have. This is the voice of a chin-stroking character. Complete, yes, I'd say it is. But at the level of a species, maintaining the status quo is effectively regression. No matter how stable the world a species lives in may be, if that species never changes at all, it will only be a matter of time before the other species surpass them, effectively causing them to degrade. But this Qin Shi Huang person managed to change themselves. So long as they never made a mistake, the Chinese Lostbelt would have been powerful indeed. And they did not in fact make any mistakes, which is why their empire became eternal. It's just too bad their own lifespan was limited. Not necessarily physically, since they did acquire an immortal body, but still. It almost sounds as though the great wall that they built enclosed their mind, as well as their nation. Yes, very, very philosophical, chin-stroking dinos. That part I honestly don't understand. Why would a human of that caliber stop trying to grow their territory? Isn't that why they became emperor in the first place? To grow humanity's domain as far as possible? I mean, he kind of had the whole planet, bro. There's not a whole lot further that you can go.
I'd say it was probably a combination of space travel not seeming to be worth the cost and an interest in pursuing their own evolution. Qin Shi Huang was the ultimate human in a very real sense. Their ideology was solipsistic, yes, but that was because they truly believed themselves to be the pinnacle of humanity. And since they were so strong in both mind and body, they probably never saw a need to compare themselves to others. It's the same ideal Kirstaria tried to bring about. Qin Shi Huang loved their subjects and strove to advance the human species as much as possible. They were a perfected person, a true Zhenren. But unfortunately, there was no one else in that world who could stand as Qin Shi Huang's peer, which ended up leaving them as the only human there was. So they were a really, really hard-headed human. That kind of sounds like Tepeu. He never let anything stop him, even when he's all alone. Wow, these other Lostbelts are amazing. We could never try to keep surviving after an extinction, except for that time we did, and none of us care about having our species flourish or trying to evolve further. Really? But surely you guys don't want to go extinct either, right? We do try to avoid death, but that's not the same thing as trying to avoid extinction. That would require a way of looking at things which was very focused on us specifically. We live for something bigger than ourselves. That said, no dinos can put into words exactly what that bigger thing is. But you taught us that our world is a Lostbelt, a world that was meant to be pruned away. We're grateful to you for that. We're not envious of any of the other Lostbelts or of proper human history. Because we know that our Mictlan is already a complete and perfect world. Yeah, we all love Mictlan, and we're all grateful to Lady Kukulkan. But you know, I do wonder if our Lostbelt has a meaningful... What? Oh, if our Lostbelt's as meaningful as a world from proper human history, I think is what it said. I love how your voice for the character changed the very moment your hand made contact with your chin. I demand more chin-stroking character voices. Look, so this is a thing that, again, I'm not a professional voice actor, but I am trained in acting, and your physicality influences your voice. So voice actors, when they are in the booth, if you ever watch behind the scenes, like, voice actors aren't just doing what I do most of the time, which is sit still and read the lines. Voice actors are expressive and emoting. They are changing their physicality, their posture, their stance. They're doing things, and that psychologically has an impact on the
intention behind the words. And that's really what voice acting comes down to, is voice acting is acting. It is making active acting choices, but when you are restricted from anything visual, you have to channel all of that energy into the voice. And so to do that, you adopt a different stance, and that informs how you are trying to communicate with other people. It's something, I don't remember who the voice actor is for Groot, but like when Vin Diesel, I think, whoever it is, when he was in the booth and doing his I am Groot lines, like that's all that Groot says throughout the entire like Guardians of the Galaxy. All he says is the words I am Groot. But he studies the script and says, what is Groot trying to communicate? What is his emotional state? What is his pace? What is his intention? What is his intensity? And every different version of I am Groot. Is it a low and slow I am Groot? Is it I am Groot? I am Groot? Like every single one of those means something different, and the physicality is a part of that. So that's very, very basic surface level voice acting talk. Matthew Mercer behind the scenes for Minsk in Baldur's Gate 3 was great. You can see him bulk himself up when he speaks as Minsk. Yeah, very much so. Like Minsk is this very big and brash man. So when you, like even me right now, my shoulders widened, and when I said big and brash, like my arms extend all the way out, and that's filling the space. And when you do that, that opens up the chest, that changes the way that air is pushed from your diaphragm through your lungs, through your vocal cords, and that changes the way it sounds. That's voice acting. Voice acting is just acting. There you are, Wak-chan. Oh, hell yes. A scene that's just Wak-chan and Tepeyu? I am here for this. I've been looking for you. Are you feeling like your old self yet?
It's no use. Nothing I do works. I don't want to do anything at all ever again. Not until the sun disappears forever.
Your brainwaves aside, you seem like you're still in peak physical condition, so let me give you this message. The Chaldeans will be heading to the 7th stratum at daybreak. If you would be willing to go with them as their porter, it would be a tremendous help.
Whoa, the 7th stratum! That's amazing! That's practically a stone's throw from the dreaded land. Even I've only ever been there once. My dad took me when I was a kid, and I only remember seeing the stars there. That sounds like a ton of fun. I guess those guys will go anywhere as long as they have a goal. But Olga's gonna be there too, right? I don't know what to say to her. Now, I know I should have said something to cheer her up instead of just disappearing, but... Wak-chan, Yu Olga Marie is no longer in Chichen Itza. She and the Chaldeans have gone their separate ways. I doubt she'll ever return. Huh? How'd that happen? I thought they were friends. Now, what do you know, Tepeyu?
This would seem a good time to explain. I can only guess based on information I've been able to piece together, but I believe you Olga Marie to be Chaldea's enemy. Not just that, she may also be the greatest threat to the Dinos as well. You've heard the stories about proper human history and the Lostbelts, yes? And you know how the world outside ours, the civilization of Earth, was erased by the Bleached Earth phenomenon, right? Well, the Bleached Earth phenomenon didn't just erase civilization. It scoured every living thing from the planet. The being responsible for that is the Foreign God, an alien who wiped out over 7 billion humans all on her own. And Yu Olga Marie is that Foreign God. At least so I believe. There are a few points that don't quite add up, so I can't be completely certain. But all that aside, whether by coincidence or by miracle, we were able to speak and travel with her for a time. But that was no more than a dream bound to end sooner or later. Quite frankly, our journey with her was a mistake.
You're kidding me!
Poor Wak-chan. Imagine your wife leaving you and then finding out that she's the worst mass murderer in all of history. But you still love her. Please try to calm down, Lord Vukub. The king may not be here right now, but we are still in the presence of the solar sojourn. If you flap your wings too loudly... Shut up! How are you not bothered by this? How long are those fools going to keep falling over themselves, fawning over those damned outsiders? Even the king of dinosaurs is going along with it. Have they no reverence at all for the holy Shokta shrine? The shrine is meant to be where we give thanks for the sun's cycle. It is not a place to celebrate outsiders. How many times are they going to make the same mistake before they get it through their thick skulls? What good has foreign culture ever brought us? That damn crypto's knowledge has been nothing but poison. The inclusion of language has only created disparities between dinos, and the Ocelame have been growing stronger at an alarming rate. The only reason you Cretans aren't worried is because you don't know how far Mexico City has come. If there were other winged dinos besides me, they would tell you, just as I have, how terrifying that city really is. Please calm down, Priest Vukub. Other priests will come by if you make too much noise. No, they won't. They're all down there at the Shokta Shrine making fools of themselves over the story of Kamazotes' defeat. They have no sense of urgency, no concerns whatsoever about the impending danger. Why is that? Is it because you Cretans never had any natural predators? Because you never knew how terrifying it is to be the only one of your kind? We must find a way to wipe out the Ocelame. We ignore Mexico City's growing power at our own peril. Dinos rule in Mictlan. It's time we started thinking that way. And yet, Kukulkan has left the Ocelame to do whatever they please. Next thing you know, she's brought back a human child and named him King of all the Dinos. And then, just when we thought she'd gone off to observe Mexico City from a distance, she comes back, dressed like a damn ocelotl. This all happened recently. Proper human history's knowledge has tarnished Mictlan and our sun. In fact, that woman has been far too welcoming to those proper human history outsiders ever since she learned of this God concept. You mustn't say such things, Lord Vukub. Please at least refrain from putting such thoughts into words. Shut up! This isn't my fault. It's the fault of the king and the god who made me think this in the first place. Who do you think I am anyway? I'm a rare pterosaur, the only kind of dinos blessed enough to be chosen by the skies. It should be me standing at the top of Dino Society. I did not expect Vukub to become like a main character or like the usurper of the Lostbelt, but I am here for it. Do you have any idea how much of myself I have devoted to Mictlan for that purpose? Despair, repugnant king of dinosaurs. Despair, useless Kukulkan. That the crypto showing up could change our entire culture proves that we never had a culture of our own to begin with. Starscream, yes, same energy. You're exactly right, Lord Vukub. No one loves Mictlan more than you. You're the perfect dinos to lead us all. All right. Move ahead with that plan we discussed. Tell Iskali I will agree to a second meeting. In secret. A plan to steal the sun, It's bold, I'll give him that. But it was at least worth hearing what he had to say. I certainly can't think of a better pretext. Fine. If it will really save our dying sun, he can have Chichen Itza. Oh, interesting. Not the backstab that I was expecting in this Lostbelt. Alrighty. Well, we have finished section 12, so that is going to be the perfect place for us to wrap it up for the night. I do not think we'll be finishing section 13 in a single stream because I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 arrows. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Either 7 or 8. 8. Boy, oh boy. Yep. All right, well, that's going to be fun. Next stream is going to be probably Saturday afternoon. I enjoyed the voice acting. Vukub is fun. Who were you expecting to backstab? I was expecting the King of the Dinos to backstab. You're going way too hard on Vukub's voice acting. I swear to God, I don't remember you going this hard on another voice before. Look, there are certain characters that, like, have a very clear personality to me. Like, characters who don't have, like, a very distinct over-the-top personality. Nitocris, for example. Like, she's very stiff as a character to me. Vukub, I see him, I understand what he's about, and he has a lot of energy. So, I definitely enjoy Vukub. Vukub, Kamazotes, and Tepeu are very fun for me to voice because I just have very clear ideas of, like, what do they sound like, what's their speech pattern, how does that manifest. So that's gonna be it for tonight though, guys. Thank y'all for being here, and I will be seeing you on Saturday afternoon. In the meantime, best of luck on your gacha rolls if you still have yet to do them. Be kind to one another, be kind to yourselves, be safe, and as always, my friends, peace out. Good night, y'all.